back if I'm the one shot.
Sometimes I wish Joel could dwell less on how he sounds and
Yeah.
focus on making sense.
It's on. Before you put it on, tell us we are going live.
Thank you.
All right, studio is live. Mics are up. Good morning, and thank you for staying with us here on Smooth 98.1 Smooth Breakfast with Valentine Ohu.
And Ayo Mairo Ese.
Good morning, and good morning to the one and only Tega Onojaife, Tega Supreme. Good morning, Tega.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Although I'm not sure if I'm awake.
That's not.
You'll soon be sure.
That's normal.
You'll soon be sure. Join Tega and us by sending messages to WhatsApp 0809 444 0981.
We're also on Twitter at Smooth981FM. Use the hashtag LockerRoom981. On YouTube, if that's your preference, you can search for us at Smooth981FM Lagos. We're streaming live. Use the live chat option to send your message.
All right, our first story is about Golden State Warriors. The associate head coach, Mike Brown, has agreed to terms to become the new head coach for the Nigerian national men's basketball team, that is heading.
I was afraid Mike Brown is doing football.
That is heading to the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. And Mike Brown responded to this honor by saying, "I'm honored and humbled that Musa Kida and the Nigerian Basketball Federation have given me this opportunity. The Nigerian Basketball Federation has been very professional and organized throughout the vetting process," he said. "They want to continue to build a world-class team and organization on and off court. I'm excited," he said, "to have learned, that the Federation's vision is to provide the team with the necessary resources to compete at the highest level."
What does necessary resources mean? I'm just mean money.
Yes, sir.
No, that's not resource. That's not even oil. Funny. Cheap. But here's what it is. I've been a little disappointed in the NBBF board. And yeah, I knew they had the drama about who was really president and whatnot. But at some point, it became obvious the ministry was only speaking to the Musa Kida board, and FIBA was only writing to the Musa Kida board. So clearly, that was the board in favor. However, that board did not carry out a lot of things because it still kept claiming that there were fights. And so you saw them on international or intercontinental tournaments when the Tigers or the Tigresses had to do something, one qualifier or the other, but you didn't see them at all anywhere else, which was a bit, so basketball became stifled for me, sorry. And that was very disappointing. But maybe they're trying to, it's a new year, it's a new decade, so they're trying to build up again. And that's why you see them start from something like the national team coach. Mike Brown has his own resume. He's not bad. He's coached LeBron. He's coached Kobe. Look, if you're looking for the best of the best, he's coached them. I'm sure coaching the NBA means a little different. It's not like you're going to teach LeBron how to bounce ball. You know, it's the basics will be different from a national team where there's different players with different areas of exposure or levels of exposure. So the coaching will definitely be more hands-on. However, they've sought out somebody that they think can bring that international standards, because Nigeria is going to compete at Tokyo Olympics with big countries like America, and we hope that they don't beat us by 60 again. So it is important to bring somebody with that level of exposure, but what's also important is that whoever they bring has to work locally. So we don't know the details of these agreements, and that's another thing that's very questionable by me. And because it's basketball, not like football where you easily follow certain things, it's a little harder to watch the progress. I wanted to say mark their script, but that's just worry speaking.
It's part of it.
That's worry speaking.
But how long does it have with the players?
Till June, right?
Yeah.
It's such a it's such a short time, but perhaps the vision is not for Tokyo Olympics. Yes. Tokyo Olympics is just
probably the short term.
Yeah, it's just the short-term goal. So they have a long-term goal. So I'm not going to knock them on that. I just say what what is he going to do? Is he going to live in Nigeria? If he's not going to live in Nigeria and he's going to live where the bulk of the players is, how is he going to be moving around?
Yes.
Because that's a lot of traveling for him to do. He's going to go to several cities in Europe and then he's going to stay in America because that's where some of the players are. So what is he going to now come back sometimes and watch the league here to see if he can find some local content? There's a lot of questions that are hanging. So when you say they're giving him the tools or the resources to excel, what does that mean? If you're just throwing cash at the problem, then it's a totally different issue. You are the NBBF president, not a pimp. So you have to do better.
But to your earlier point, I mean, it's like taking a college football coach and say you should coach the college football players for a Super Bowl. You should get a Super Bowl equipped coach.
And coach,
to that level.
I wouldn't say that, because if it's different. If the college basketball team is going to play Super Bowl experienced players at the Super Bowl, you better get a Super Bowl coach.
That's right.
So
That's right.
I don't think I will not knock the fact that they've brought Mike Brown. Like I said, I know Mike Brown. I'm going to be starstruck when I see him in Nigeria. Let me just tell you now, I'm going to lose all my home training. Even if I'm one of those that castigated him when he was in Cleveland,
Yes.
I'm still going to lose small home training, small. But it is how do you use these tools? Because if you buy certain cars, I don't care how much you spend, and you now drive it on Lagos Road, to me, you're irresponsible. I'm not going to say, wow, what a car. I'll say, wow, what an irresponsible man. Do you understand?
Yep.
So that's what I want to see. Are they bringing that luxury car to drive it here?
Very, very well
Good
illustrated.
point.
But let's move on to tennis. So Serena Williams needs to change her strategy and face reality, having not won a Grand Slam title since returning to tennis, according to her coach, Patrick Muratoglu. We have to accept the fact that it is not working, he said. Maybe come back with a different angle, a different strategy, and different goals so she can make it. She doesn't feel positive. She feels negative too, because it is a failure when she doesn't win a Grand Slam.
Okay. What it is, if you read through the it sounds like criticism, but it's not. He's just trying to say, look, we have to change angle. But of course, the newspaper has to get some clicks, so they put a very interesting headline. But what it is clearly what Serena said after she lost at the Australian Open. She said, look, if I'm going to win, I cannot. In fact, if I'm going to even play tennis, I cannot play as badly as I played today. Her errors were so horrible for a professional athlete. So she, by herself, she watched her game, or she was on court, she saw her game, and she deemed it not fit to compete. So she, even before he said this, he's just repeating, or maybe putting a little more light to what she said. She said she cannot play tennis like that if she's going to continue playing tennis. And she's sure she can win Grand Slam. She's sure she can compete. She's just questioning why she's putting up some poor performances. And I totally agree with her, because like I said on the day, it was a horrible performance. The fact that that game went all that match went all the way to 3 sets was just showed that Wang herself was not the best of opponents, because like I said, she was dumped out in the next round. The second set, she even lost it 6-1 for good measure.
Even as bad as Serena was.
Thank you. Do you understand what I mean? So I'm looking at what the coach is going to try to do, because Serena has a style of playing from when she started, and you can't teach old dogs new tricks. And that's going to be my problem. What are you going to tell her to do? To shorten, to stop playing on the baseline, to move around a little more? She has ankle problems that has nothing to do with even now. She had heart issues that she even needed to do surgery on. So I don't know what the changes are. Clearly something that he's not going to tell her, because he would have said, we're going to try to work so that she doesn't totally sit on the baseline. We're going to try to shorten her rallies. We're going to try to do some serve and volley. He obviously didn't give us much. He just said they will change angle, they will change strategy. What that means in English language, I have no idea. But clearly they've both watched her game, and they're thinking that there's a different way to get into the top, especially in an erratic setting like the way the WTA is. That one Sophia Kenin from nowhere can come and win a championship. So I'm guessing that since they are looking at it, we are going to see a different Serena Williams at the French Open.
All right, Collins in sent in a message on YouTube. He said, that Ferrari metaphor touched me somewhere in my Kogi state. Let's go on to speak on this. Four-time 100-meter world champion Sherry-Ann Fraser-Price says she believes she can keep the younger generation at bay to win Olympic gold in Tokyo. Her words, the Jamaican expressed as saying, quote, I definitely believe it's possible, considering the year I had and the room to improve. There are things that I do personally that I missed out on and I've gone light on. The timeout actually gave me the time to just mentally refocus on the goals that I want to achieve, and I'm going to soldier on, and I'm definitely looking forward to making it my 4th Olympic Games.
Yeah. So Pocket Rocket, as we call her, is not a spring chicken anymore. But she's still fast, apparently. I think the only reason she said she didn't compete in doubles, 100 meters and 200 meters at the World Championships, was because her coach was like, yeah, look, you just had a baby. You just came back to the sport. It wouldn't make sense for you to focus on 2 things.
Yeah.
Let us do one and do it well. And that's how she did one. And she did it very, very well. Won the 100 meters again. But she's saying at Tokyo Olympics, she's going to pick up the 100 meters and the 200 meters. And she's going to see how she can push through it. I want to tell her now that there are some hungry people, like what's her name, Dinasha Smith from Britain, that really want to put their hands on that 100 meters. They're eyeing it. So for her to now start pushing on 2 ends, it's a totally different kettle of fish. I think she can still get the 100 meters if that's all she does. I don't know that how she can do 100 meters, 200 meters with all the wolves at her door.
I wonder what her coach thinks, because she seems to have a good coach.
Who understands the times and the seasons. But if she's saying that she's doing the 100 and 200 meters, then she must have discussed it with him and saying,
okay.
and he's okay with it because they've had the time. So the training will be intense from now till then. I'm so certain. I was so certain about the 100 meters prior to the Tokyo Olympics, but July is still far. I cannot be placing bets now.
Collins in there on YouTube says, that Ferrari metaphor touched me somewhere in my Kogi state. All right, let's move on to the next one. Lionel Messi tells Eric Abidal to give names when criticizing Barcelona players. Messi has asked Abidal to give names after the Barcelona sporting director criticized the club's players over their work ethic. Abidal, who is a former teammate of Messi at Barcelona, suggested players in the Barcelona dressing room were unhappy and not working hard enough under previous coach Ernesto Valverde.
Okay, so clearly the problems in the back are now coming to the fore. I do remember when I said there was certainly a disconnect from the boardroom to the pitch and all of that, and it's now showing. So Eric Abidal used to play for Barcelona, and he's now the sporting director in Barcelona. And then he's coming out to speak on what's happening in Barcelona, saying that that some of the players did not want to work. That as an ex-player, he was the one that suggested that Valverde's replacement, they should start looking for Valverde's replacement, because clearly these guys are not happy playing with this coach. And like I said before, I've said 100 times, you can't fire 22 players. You can fire one coach, which is what they did. And so Lionel Messi is now coming out to say, look, if you say the players didn't want to play, all of a sudden people will start to suspect me. Because I'm the biggest fish in the sea right now. So mention names so that you don't stain all of us. And then he's also saying that the problem is not only just the players, that the board is not doing their job. And in that aspect, like I said before, I completely agree with Lionel Messi. Because I've said it several times. Fire Bartomeu. There is no conversation. Now, Barcelona is in a spot where they do not have an out-and-out striker. Luis Suarez is injured. They sold Carlos Perez. Ousmane Dembele is out for the rest of the season with injury. Coutinho that they loaned him out to Bayern Munich, and he's stuck there. So now they are short up front, and this is the business end of the league. So clearly somebody in management, they manage.
What we're going to manage now is the time as we switch lanes to banter. Remember the WhatsApp number 0809 444 0981.
98.1.
Today Premier League game won't start. The players don't ready. The coach self don't ready. But you don't
So
ready.
you see what it is. You have to say it in such a way that it's engaging.
Pull the mic to you if you're going to use it.
You have to say it in such a way.
Follow start.
You have to come here, so we are under the cover of that. So you have to say it in a way that is engaging, which is, you see what I'm saying? You see?
Pull the mic to you.
So that
So now,
when you're
ask
talking,
yourself, you don't ready for banter.
it's engaging. It
Abi
doesn't
you
sound
want
like
make
you're
your club
reading.
carry last? Oh yeah, time still there.
You can
Enter
have
shop,
your-
buy cheap bottle of Coca-Cola.
you-
Take home
you
your
can
side.
have
Make
your
you dey fresh to banter
style.
better.
All right.
Banter better with
Menu
Coca-Cola,
account.
the official soft drink partner of the English
your
Premier League.
content.
We're going back in 20 seconds.
Coming in as a trailer.
Studio.
Here's
Studio.
This segment is brought to you by Coca-Cola, the official sponsor of the English Premier League. Banter better with Coca-Cola.
That's right. The number 0809 444 0981, and we're on Twitter as well.
Smooth 981 FM is the handle. Use the hashtag Locker Room 981 on YouTube. We're streaming live. Smooth 981 FM Lagos.
And hashtag banter better with Coca-Cola. Add that to all the messages you send in right now for the next 30 minutes. And please, or next 15 minutes, please use words that are devoid of vulgar statements or insulting words. Send your comments with a hashtag banter better with Coca-Cola, just so it can be read. We'll start with this message about Jurgen Klopp. He's left buzzing by Liverpool's youngest ever FA Cup side. Now, he sent messages of congratulations after staying away from Anfield as Liverpool's youngest ever side beat Shrewsbury 1-0 in their FA Cup fourth round replay. Now, Chelsea at Stamford Bridge await in the last 16 when Klopp and some of his first team stars will be back.
Yes, Jurgen Klopp stuck to his guns, used the youngsters, and now the youngsters won. Remember when I was telling Shrewsbury, don't talk too much about him disrespecting you. So what will this Shrewsbury player tell their grandchildren? That, can you imagine? Jurgen Klopp disrespected us by putting on that 23 team. Then the grandchildren will be like, yes, but you beat him, right? Then he'll be like, no, we
No,
still
we
lost
still
to them.
lost.
How can you, if the children come with F9, how can you scold them now? But this is not my story.
Okay.
Sebon, take it away.
Okay, so this season Liverpool has been giving all the clubs like dirty, should I say dirty slap? Well, I don't know, but they have been on top of their game. And also recently, players were on their holidays, enjoying themselves, while the remaining players of the club were there planning to getting ready to pull stunts and surprise us. Nonetheless, their replacements did them, club and the club, proud when James Miller, who is their, I think they're on the 23 player, he scored the goal in the second half. And of course, by being there, he was an inspiration, he was their motivation. The game, it was an outstanding performance. The performance was full of confidence and commitment, and I think that they really deserved it. That guy should never leave that club because that performance was outstanding. Now on to Chelsea. Yeah, and also I think their players were scheduled for an education session, but Shrewsbury were the ones who went to school.
High five!
Yes, they went to school.
I have something to ask you.
Husker.
I saw an article about this match. I think it was on CNN or something, and they were saying that could the fact that Jurgen Klopp sent an under-16 team to the FA Cup and defied calls to take it seriously devalue the FA Cup. So he not only did he send the under-16 team, they now even, so it's like, what's the point?
What's the point? On the 23 team and the 23. yeah. That's what people were saying, that it would devalue this. Oh yeah, beat this under 23 boys.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? Because they're talking about him devaluing the championship, but the under 23 boys are supposed to devalue the championship.
Yeah.
Are winning. How do you punish somebody for if the under 23 team went and they lost?
He set out to prove a point.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
I know what they mean, because the truth of the matter is it's almost like match fixing.
Yes.
You can't, because you've taken one, but it's not the first time that's happened to the FA Cup. However,
let us be honest. If it was an older club, that older age group that he sent, then you can say it's match fixing. Younger guys.
You don't understand what I mean. It can be considered as match fixing
I see.
because what it is that you've thrown the match.
away, yeah.
But the match that they threw, you can imagine if you bribe a boxer. Think about
That
it.
was an own goal.
Wait, think about it. You bribe a boxer to go into the pitch and fall flat. Then the boxer collected your money and went there and decked your guy. That's what this under 23 team did. So I think Shrewsbury, it doesn't matter. Own goal is a goal. Any goal is a
No,
goal.
I was looking at her when she said it. It's like, oh, go.
But like,
Who scores?
because it's not fantastic football for the what people won't even go.
Don't worry, they didn't show it. They didn't show it on TV. It's okay.
Exactly.
Leave that one for press conference.
Yeah.
The bottom line is
The
who
bottom
won?
line is who won? Liverpool. Now they're in the 5th round. There
Yeah.
are some people that played their first team. They're at home now, licking tom or whatever it is.
I know who. Let's talk about this though.
Next.
Tayo from Yaba says Klopp is living the bougie life, actually sending his minor to do his bidding. Kiss the ring when the real Red Devils arrive. Hashtag banter better with Coca-Cola.
Shimobi Victor says Lionel Messi talks too much and should learn to respect senior players. But truth be said, Enes Valverde destroyed that Barcelona team while he was in charge. Even Tega will agree with me. For Jurgen Klopp, even if he feels or if he field his under 12 against strawberry ice cream, they will still win. Hashtag banter better with Coca-Cola.
First of all, Shimo Victor, I do not agree with you
Yeah.
on Barcelona. You
Second
can
of
tell.
all, I feel like ice cream right now. Next one from Prince from Majora Estate in Lagos says hashtag banter better with Coca-Cola. Respect any player in Liverpool color. Oh, okay. Oh, he'll win a pool. Thank
That's
you,
a good
Prince.
one.
Honestly.
Winner
And then we
pool.
have from Festa, the moment you tell you people have started. Lampard should drop Kepa for Caballero because Kepa couldn't even say his phone number. We're getting to that
And
story.
before
Hashtag
that-
banter. Oh, we'll take it. Just because
Hashtag
Before
banter
that,
better
he
with
sent a
Coca-Cola.
message. He said, the moment you tell an Arsenal fan we have draw soup, which do you want to crumb on our way to?
we're coming to that. You people. Harry Kane could be back for Tottenham's final 2 Premier League games, says Jose Mourinho. The match against Leicester maybe will need that match for something, to be fourth, to be fifth, to be sixth. Maybe we need that match for something, and maybe he can help us in that match, I hope, he said.
Okay, so first of all, Tottenham need to deal with the game that is today. You see, that's what I was talking about, the FA Cup, that the people that use their first team players and still didn't make it through. This is one of them. I don't understand what's happening in London. They don't know how to play football again, Abby. But what it is that he's playing Southampton today, and it is important that he wins that match to stay in the cup competition, at least to have the hope of winning something or giving Tottenham something to build on from next season. So go further in the cup competitions. There's still questions about Dele Ali's fitness. After that, should I call it tackle or attempted leg breaker that Sterling did over the weekend? There's suggestions that they may rest him or not, but because of the importance of the game, and the fact that they're still playing a Premier League side, and this Premier League side is 9th on the table. This is Southampton. Are they still 9th on the table? But they were high as 9th on the table earlier in the week. And so it becomes a big struggle for Tottenham to stay in this competition. So that's the one Mourinho should be worried about. Wherever they are on the table in May, when Harry Kane comes back, is of no consequence right now. Today, maybe from tomorrow, it will be of consequence. But today, his sole focus should be on Southampton and not Harry Kane's treatment. He's not a physio. He's not a doctor.
Thank you. Now, speaking about Klopp's performances, that's really interesting and impressive. Collins Ine sent him another message on YouTube. He says, Tupac once said, y'all ain't on my level. And I let my little homies ride on y'all. Beep, beep. He said Klopp is proof that Tupac is still alive. Better with Coca-Cola.
Nice one,
And
Collins.
Tayo from Yaba says, don't rush Harry Kane. No. Otherwise, any small injury to him now will let English national team to lament about stories.
They should lament.
Hashtag banter better with Coca-Cola.
And that's what Mourinho said. Mourinho said that whether Harry Kane is ready for Euros is none of his business. That's Gareth Southgate's problem and English FA's problem. His own is his club. And I like the guy. Look, we paid this guy money to play for Tottenham. If he cannot play for Euro 2020, I'm not the coach or the manager of the English team. Let the English people cry for that. Me, I'm focused on Tottenham.
Exactly.
All right, so Manchester United no longer attract world's best strikers, says Yudo. Yudo says it comes back to the time of the season of this Igalo transfer as well. I don't think any of the best strikers are available. He added, I don't think any of the best strikers are eager to join United anymore. He must be the luckiest man. Going to China, being away from Europe, nobody's seeing him for 2.5 years since he was at Watford, and then getting a loan to move to United, he said, wow, that doesn't happen. But guess what? It happens. It's
Okay.
Igalo.
Mhm.
He's our guy.
Guy, I know what you're saying, and on paper you may be right, but
Mhm.
this is hateration.
Absolutely.
As Nigerian, I'm going to,
Yeah.
I'm going to say, yeah, yeah, beefing us. But what it is it's tricky with Manchester United in the market because they still have the big name, but nobody wants to sacrifice their football ambition for the rebuilding process. And if I'm going to sacrifice my football ambition for the building process, I'm going to cost a lot of money so I can sleep well at night.
Of
Because
course.
if I'm not winning trophies, at least I should be getting paid. So anybody that's coming to Manchester United is going to ask for
You're very right.
a big sack of
Yes,
something
yes,
to
yes,
go
yes,
home with.
yes.
And that's what the board can't manage right now. So he's on paper, he's totally right on paper.
Yeah.
They cannot attract anybody big now except they're paying double.
Mm.
End of discussion. Which is what Manchester can't afford. So they have to, like, in order to start attracting people, they have to get results. Think about it. If you got a call from Jurgen Klopp right now and from OGS, which call would you pick? You would leave OGS's call on.
Sorry, who's OGS again?
You see that kind of thing. I'll just keep putting cuts. I'll call you back. Busy. I'll call you later.
Blocked.
But we Yoga Club, before the first ring finishes, I've already picked up
Yes.
to, because there's something to look forward to, or there's something to anticipate. So he's right in that direction. But him coming to say, but because he's not picking on my Odion Gallo, so let the Nigerian side of me talk.
Please talk.
Okay.
When he was saying that Odion Gallo may not have been first choice, second choice, third choice, or something, that is because Manchester United cannot attract anybody. That's why Odion Gallo came.
Is it your choice?
Is it your choice? If we decide to come out of retirement to play, is it your business? And then,
Do you know what you're
so
capable of?
do you understand? Ojo Igalo, for this thing you're doing, better
Show
score.
them.
Show
He
them.
should not
Yes.
come to Nigeria.
One
That's just
shot,
right.
2 goals. Have you heard me?
Oh, yes.
He shouldn't, but he shouldn't try coming.
No,
our
he-
superstar.
He can come. We'll just banter better with him.
Our final story here. 2 men threatened to kill Arsenal's Ozil.
Wow.
Security guard Kemil says that told the court that he and a colleague had been protecting Ozil, who was inside the house at the time. He told them, we're going to come back in 5 minutes, and if security don't go from here, we're going to kill Mesut Ozil and kill you.
Yes.
Are you serious?
So for those of you that haven't understood exactly all the drama that Ozil is going through, and you just keep giving him unnecessary stick
Hmm.
for what he does on the pitch, this is part of the drama he's going through.
Oh dear.
And this is a different attack from that one he endured with Kolasinac.
Mhm.
Just so you know that it's 2 different attacks. Just so you know that he's been attacked on different fronts. And this one is not. That one was them trying to rob them of wristwatches and belongings that were on them.
Mm.
This one is because of his Turkish affiliations.
That's
So
true.
thank you. So there's so many issues that Mesut Ozil is juggling right now, and then juggling football. So Arsenal fans, football fans, try to be a little more empathetic when you see Ozil on the pitch. He is struggling through
He's
a
going
lot
through
of
a lot.
to a lot of things.
Yeah.
It's not just the football. Don't banter too much with him. Yeah.
It's actually not funny. Tayo from Yaba says, don't rush Hurricane. Otherwise, any small injury to him now will let English national team to lament about stories to touch. Okay, you're taking that before. Chika Agina sent in this one from Marina.
Manchester United ain't attracting big names at the moment, I agree. But bringing in Igalo isn't an option either. Hashtag banter better with Coca-Cola.
And thank you, Tayo, for this message. It says Haaland went to Dortmund, but United will rise with Igalo. Baba God, good dua.
The god of Nigeria is behind us.
Hashtag banter better with Coca-Cola.
From Dizzy Classic, I think referee is part of the people that caused Nima's injury after giving him yellow card instead of a red card in Saturday's League One game against Montpellier when we know Neymar and his sister's birthday is just around the corner. As for Dembele, I don't know if his sister's birthday is coming up also.
That's so nice about injuries.
Yeah. Let's continue this conversation with that hashtag Banter Better with Coca-Cola, hashtag Locker Room 981 on Twitter, tweet at Smooth981FM, and you can message us as well on WhatsApp 0809 4440981. Tega is at Tega Supreme. If you're interested in ladies in sports, check out at LIS International. Next, we talk. We have a special lined up for you, and we have two special guests coming in to speak about issues around cancer, especially the focus for from 2019 through to 2021. Very exciting conversation. Stay tuned.
Coming in as a trailer, he is in